Hi, I'm Al McGee. This is Steve Leibowitz. But you're at Your Entertainment Ticket, www.yeticket.com. www.yeticket.com. That's right. Well, Steve, we're here to talk about the movie they just buried. They're going to bury this series. They're going to do away with it. It's going to be
end.
Gone. The end. You know, sound like we need to go to New Orleans so they can have a funeral march for this, right?
No, well, it will be a perfect place for it because it's a good party because it's going out on a high note.
That's right. And that's Shrek Forever After, the last Shrek. And this one was in 3D.
Real D 3D.
Real D. I don't know what that means, but it really hit the mark, though, wasn't it?
It was the last Shrek movie, Shrek the Third, was kind of a lackluster sequel. Kind of after the first two are really good films. The third didn't have what the first two had. They got back to the roots. This one was a lot of fun. Like I said, if this is the last one as they're advertising, they did a really good job. And
they sure did.
Yes, and the 3D was something to see too. I mean, we have,
it was real 3D, like I said. You know, yes. I stuck my hand out there. I tried to touch Shrek. I tried to touch Fiona. Well, in a nice way.
Yeah, you want Shrek after you, Al. Yeah, no, because there's so many things they have. Like let's get to the story first before we go into the 3D.
Well, the story is about Shrek. When you saw in 3, he got married, had kids, and Eddie Murphy had kids with his dragon girlfriend. But he's bored. Like most men, when they get married, they get bored, right? He's not the old Shrek.
It's basically the same routine day in, day out. Feed the kids, change the kids, fix the outhouse.
Oh. And everybody wanted him to roar like an ogre and all that good stuff. But he got so bored, he went to Rumpelstiltskin. Now, what did he have to do with this? Well, he's a good character in this one, right?
Rumpelstiltskin is almost like I heard someone describe him as an ambulance chasing lawyer who can't get a client. Perfect description of Rumpelstiltskin is. He's a guy who has all these magical contracts, but no one wants to do business with him.
Yeah.
But Shrek does. Shrek just wants one day to relive his glory days of being an ogre when everyone feared him. Now he has Star Tours coming through his house in the swamp to go see him. He wants to be feared just one day of no wife, no kids, just to be an ogre. And in exchange, he just has to give up one day to Rumpelstiltskin.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that day was the day he was born. Mm-hmm. And Shrek gets to find out what life would be like if he was never born. And he finds himself in a very, very new, far, far away.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are familiar voices with this. Mike Myers, he's back as Shrek.
Right.
Eddie Murphy. Now, Eddie Murphy was much better in this one than I've seen him in some other Shreks. I mean, as far as his lines and things like that.
You know why? I guess because his character is in a new reality, he has a lot more fun with the role. I mean, basically, he's now in this new reality, Donkey's a pack mule. Who basically he's a pack mule who's basically for witches. Because Rumpelstiltskin's all his henchmen or henchwomen in this case are all green-faced witches. Mm-hmm. And basically he just pulls the cart around and witches. He's singing his songs like Donkey like to sing, and if witches want to change the radio station, they whip him. And he sings a new song.
Well, Cameron Diaz, she's Princess Fiona.
Right.
And Antonio Banderas.
Puss in Boots. You want to talk about a change of character. Puss in Boots is no longer a swashbuckler you know him. He's now a big, fat lazy
cat. Just like all cats I've met. And also John Hamm, Julie Andrews, Walt Durham as Rumpelstiltskin.
Right. He's actually the head of animation at DreamWorks. He was just doing some, this test voice work, and they thought he was so good.
Very good.
He was fun.
Yeah. And you know who's in this? I was shocked. Kathy Griffin.
Yes, she was one of the witches.
Yep.
Yes, that was another thing. Let's go back to the 3D. Now, first of all, Alice, real D is actually because it's in digital, unlike film. You see a film eventually, after many, many showings, it starts to degrade a little. Digital, it's just as sharp the first time as it is in its 1,000th showing. So the movie looks really sharp and crisp. That's what the real D part is. The 3D is so good. The witches who are on broomsticks, they're flying. Basically they're flying around the entire movie theater in this 3D.
Yeah.
At the screening we saw, you can hear people actually gasp at the 3D effects, which is really impressive. Because not all 3D movies. A recent example was the Clash of the Titans, which actually was converted to 3D, which had terrible 3D effects. When you go to make a movie in 3D and actually set out to make it, you can have some wonderful effects. Even when it's not, like
Train Your Dragon.
Yes,
that was wonderful.
Right, even when it's not like something like coming at you. Just the depth of field in this movie makes it really come alive. With the background and foregrounds, I really had that really well thought out in every single shot, which really helped make this movie come alive.
Man, this movie was alive. I mean, I was even ducking myself with that real 3D that they had.
Right.
Well, how many palm trees you gonna give this?
I'm giving this 4.5 palm trees.
Out of 5?
Out of 5. 4.5 palm trees. Really funny. I thought this time, the storyline, the stakes are raised at times. Some nice tender moments.
Oh yeah.
There's jokes just both for kids and adults, and I thought it was really great. I couldn't go all the way up to 5, but 4.5 palm trees.
Well, I'm giving it 5. I enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. I thought I was going to be bored for a moment, but I was not at all.
You won't be bored in this one.
I really enjoyed this movie, Shrek. Oh, man. But it's the end.
Don't worry, because actually, if I understand, Puss in Boots is getting his own spin-off film in 2011.
Yeah,
and
you're absolutely right.
So we will get some, we may not see Shrek anymore, but we'll have Puss in Boots and Tony Banderas, who's actually very funny in this movie, too.
And the director did a good job on this one, too. Now, the director, his real claim to fame is Deuces Bigalow, the American
Gigolo film. So,
that was his big claim to fame. So, I was shocked that he did such a good job with this. I really am.
I was, great high note to go on. Shrek Forever After. So far, the best family film of the summer.
That's right. Well, you heard it from us. 5 palm trees from me.
4.5 from me.
Steve. Hey, this is your entertainment ticket. Get us at www.yeticket.com and keep watching us every day and the day after.